When John Locke arrived on the island, he finally found the place where he truly belonged.
Wake up, Hugo. Time to get up. We're gonna get going.
I thought we didn't know where we were going, dude.
We do now.
I run a school for kids who are extremely special, and I have reason to believe that you might be one of them.
John Locke's entire life has been people telling him that he is special, that he's meant for something, but all that ever got him was in a wheelchair, in a dead-end job, in a cubicle.
He was a guy who was really at sort of the low nadir in his life.
You survived falling 8 stories out of a building. That's a miracle, Mr. Locke. Do you believe in miracles?
No, I don't believe in miracles.
When he landed on this island, he discovered he could walk.
You! Come on! Get over here! Give me a hand!
Suddenly he's walking around, and he's like, this is what everybody was talking about. This is what I was meant for. This is what makes me special.
What if everything that happened here happened for a reason?
Locke basically believes who needs science, you know, who needs a scientific explanation.
It's destiny.
I don't believe in destiny.
Yes, you do. You just don't know it yet.
The island is kind of like the worst AA meeting you could possibly imagine because it forces you to relive your past over and over again. So if you were a torturer, the island is going to present a situation for you where you get to choose whether or not you're going to torture again.
I served 5 years in the Republican Guard. Just give me 10 minutes with you.
Said was a guy who was tried on many occasions to shed this very dark sort of soul that he has inside of himself.
Guess you're lucky you have a new skill set you can use.
He is carrying the burden of having tortured people, and that is a very heavy burden for him.
This isn't a game, Nadia.
Yet you keep playing it, Sayed, pretending to be something I know you're not.
He escaped his existence in Iraq and was on a quest to find this woman, Nadia, who he lost track of.
I've been holding on for the past 7 years to just a thought. A blind hope that somewhere she is still alive.
Is he capable of transcending the bad guy that he once was? That's what makes him really compelling as a character.
I'm willing to give my life if it means securing rescue. But I'm not giving it up for nothing.
That idea of redemption is really sort of the central thematic of the show.
It's gonna be all right. Jack's gonna be all right. We all are. Well, what a relief.
In a lot of ways, Hurley, I think, is kind of the heart and the soul of the show. I mean, he's this guy who's just trying to get along and make his way here. And Hurley, we discovered in the first season, won the lottery. But this money made him utterly miserable.
Kind of had some bad luck, too. Grandpa Tito died of a heart attack, and the first house about my mom burnt down.
Going to Australia is not going to break any curse. You need a little hope.
I have hope.
There is a Dharma bus on the island. He decides that getting this car running will really be a manifestation of the possibility of hope.
But the van actually represents a little more than just that because Hurley finds a dead body in the van.
Bottoms up.
It's not cool, dude. That guy had a mom, and a name, not Skeletor's, Roger Workman.
It's Workman, you blockhead. He was a Dharma janitor.
I'm a janitor?
I'm sorry, Mr. Linus.
Now, the Dharma Initiative was on the island back in the 70s, early 80s.
I'm Dr. Edgar Halifax. This is the orientation film.
What brought the Dharma Initiative to the island, it depends on whether or not you believe these orientation films that our characters keep fighting.
For the briefest of moments, the animal will seem to disappear.
All we really know about Dharma is what we see in these films. The Dharma Initiative says that they came to the island to kind of make the world a better place. But when you look a little closer at these hatches, it feels like they were into psychological experiments. Every one of these hatches is loaded with guns. So they seem to have been a little bit more militaristic than we originally surmised.
They set up their own utopian society, and they were trying to carry out these various experiments, but then they discovered, oh, there's these indigenous people on the island called the Others, or the Hostiles.
Okay, everyone into your positions.
The so-called Hostiles lived on the island long before the Dharma Initiative, and while they were wary of outsiders, they did make a few exceptions.
Are you one of them?
One of whom?
A hostile.
Do you even know what that word means?
Benjamin Linus has a very sort of troubled history with the island.
Hey, welcome to the island, man. Namaste. And this must be Ben?
Yeah. He was a member of the Dharma Initiative, He lived amongst these people with his father.
Happy birthday, Ben. Sorry I forgot. Kind of hard to celebrate on the day you killed your mom. You had to come early. Now, she's gone. And I'm stuck here on this island with you.
And that led him to become a fairly dark and twisted individual.
Goodbye, Dad.
Someone dark and twisted enough to basically kill his own father in cold blood. Ben is in fact complicit in or potentially responsible for the genocide of all these people. He killed the Dharma Initiative.
Ben emerged from this incident as the leader of the others.
You want us to go get his body? No, leave him out there.
And when Oceanic 815 crashed on the island, everything for Ben was about to change. Though he did everything he could to maintain his power.
Goodwin!
You run, you can make that shore in an hour. Ethan, get up there to that fuselage. There may actually be survivors. Listen, learn, don't get involved. Go.
Whenever somebody else comes to the island, the others essentially sort of like hermit crabs, wipe them out and start to use their stuff. So they have access to satellites, and they live in houses and have little book club meetings, and this submarine that used to go between the island and back to the real world. So they're able to sort of leave the island at their own will.
And they're very unhappy about the fact that these survivors landed on their island. There's an uneasy truce that exists for a while.
This is our island, and the only reason you're living on it is because we let you live on it.
But there's also hostility and conflict. Ben is a bad guy, and Ben has basically done a lot of horrible things to further his own power.
You ever wonder what happened to the Dharma Initiative, Hugo?
Whoa.
There must have been at least 100 of them living on this island.
What happened to him?
He did.